First of all, my name's Krish, and I help young men improve their mental health. Just very quickly, in the top thing in the description is just my Discord username if you just want to add me. So when the COVID lockdown first started in around 2021, right? That was when my mental health was at its lowest point. And the reason why was simply because of a lack of discipline, right? I say this all the time. The reason why your mental health sucks, the reason why my mental health sucked, simply because of a lack of discipline, right? What do I mean by this? Well, let's look at what I was doing at the time. I was watching porn at least 3 times a day. I was playing games for multiple hours every single day. I remember actually playing 16-hour days every single day. Imagine that, right? Imagine it's the weekend. Most gamers I know, they usually play for like a couple hours. Most gamers say that they play for 1 hour. They don't play for 1 hour. They play for more like 3, 4, 5 hours. For me, it was not just 3, 4, 5 hours. It was legitimately 16, right? On school days, it would be more like 8, right? Because I had school, so I couldn't play for the whole day. So I was doing that. My screen time as well was also absurd. I remember checking it a couple times. It used to be like 15 hours every single day of screen time because I used to watch random brain dead YouTube videos like this one whilst playing the game. I didn't exercise. I didn't talk to anybody. I was basically retarded mentally. I was being abused at the time as well, but that's a separate story. The only way I was able to improve my mental health, well, first actually what happened was I was sitting down at the dining table one day eating some fucking chicken nuggets full of seed oils and weird processed shit, right? And my brother comes and sits down next to me and he says, "Dude, what are you doing?" So I look up from him. I was watching some random streamer play some game or something. So I look towards him like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Dude, I literally see you sit down every single day on that couch," because I used to play in my living room, right? I see you sit down every single day on that couch and not get up for the whole day. I see you every day just sitting there just playing games, pointless games, because he also used to play them as well, right? Just like, and I was like, I guess. I was actually coping in my mind as well. I was saying, "Oh no, I don't really play for that long. I only play for like a few hours every single day." Motherfucker, you play for like 14 hours per day, bro. Come on. This is me talking to my younger self, right? And so what happened was he was like, "Dude, you're a fucking loser." And at the time, I took that as an insult. I was like, "You're just being mean. He was bullying, whatever, fine." It was kind of true. It was. And so after that point, that was, I guess, when my gym journey started, right? Because like most people, when they get onto, I guess, self-improvement, the first habit that they do is the gym, right? At least that was the case for me. That was a catalyst that started everything, was just the gym. And so we didn't have access to a gym at that time. And so what we did was he bought these resistance bands, you know what I'm talking about? If you go into the gym, you'll often find like these colorful bands that people use to warm up with, to stretch their shoulders out and stuff. So we bought some of those and we just did a few simple ass workouts. Literally just like 5 exercises, that's it. We used to have a rowing machine too, so we also used to row almost every single day. And I remember being so weak that doing body weight squats was actually enough to just make my legs so right. I think I was like, I don't know, at that time, 4'11" or something, like 5 foot, right? I was like skinny as hell too. I was like 80 pounds. That workout was, I guess, my first act of discipline. Discipline is basically just like doing something that you don't want to do. So oftentimes, a lot of people think that discipline is just hard work. No. Discipline, I guess hard work is a part of it, but it's just about doing stuff you don't want to do. So it's like, if you go to the gym and you're motivated for it, then that's not discipline, that's just motivation, because motivation is like just basically just desire, right? And that workout was my first act of discipline because I didn't want to do that workout at all. I just wanted to sit on my ass and play more games and jack off for another 2 times today. That's what I wanted to do. And so from, I guess, that point, I started playing video games less, obviously, because my brother was trying to get me to quit. And that, I guess, working out became my new obsession for a very long time. And what's interesting was my mental health actually improved from that. Now, I know that seems like common sense, right? You're going to exercise, of course your mental health is going to improve. But it's like, I think a lot of people, for some reason, they think, like, no, no, but this won't improve my mental health. No, 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 but I'm depressed because of this. No, 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 because this happened. And so they take these medications and whatnot. Do some people need that? Maybe. Do some people need to take medications and blame genetics? I actually think some people do. Now, for 99.9% of people, they have bad mental health. Why? Because they're just undisciplined, lack of discipline, lack of willpower as well, but we're also going to cover that later. But When I started to become more disciplined, when I started to go to the gym, when I started to quit all my bad habits, when I started to live like a happy, healthy human being, I finally improved my mental health. It makes sense. Lack of discipline is why I initially had poor mental health, right? It makes sense. It's not genetics, it's not because of any other external factors, it's just because of your lack of discipline. That's it. That's the only reason why. So to have better mental health, all you got to do is just increase your discipline skill. Because discipline is a skill that you can level up. And the way that you increase discipline, I'll just give you a little bit of a quick tip, is to focus on the small things and just get them right first. So this is what I did, right? So again, discipline is doing something that you, like basically just the skill of doing something that you don't want to do, right? So I use discipline to go to the gym or means I didn't feel like going to the gym, but I went anyway. Does that make sense? Motivations, it's basically just desire, right? It's kind of like dopamine. And it's like, I'm motivated to go to the gym means I feel like going. And so I went. And discipline, it's not just about working out. That's not what discipline is. Or, sorry, that's not the full picture. Discipline can mean, for example, picking up the mess on the floor. Discipline can mean, for example, cleaning a room when you didn't want to. Discipline can mean helping your mom unload the dishwasher or something when you didn't want to. It can mean doing your chores. It can mean doing some work that you didn't really want to do. A lot of people, even I did this too, associated discipline with physical work. And that's definitely part of it, of course. But a lot of the discipline that I used, it wasn't just for physical work. It was for just like day-to-day life. And it's way more important than you think because motivation's like, it's not going to be there forever. I remember actually having this mindset, which was when my brother left for college after he introduced me to gym and we made some progress on quitting the game, right? So I think it was the summer of 2021 where it was, he initially got me to the gym, he initially got me started into the atmosphere and whatnot. And when the summer came to an end and he left because he had college, when he left for college, he told me, keep being consistent, keep working out, you're doing great. And I was actually making good progress for a few reasons that I'll discuss later. But anyway, he left and I was like, I'm super motivated. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get really fit, make so much progress. I did one workout after he left and then I went back into my old habits and then I fell off again. Why? Well, because throughout all the times that he trained, or I guess I trained with him, a lot of the times he kept me accountable and he motivated me to into the workout, right? And so when I lost that, I didn't do anything. I just sat on my ass again and did the same fucking shit habits. And so I actually had this mindset, which was I thought to myself, I didn't ask anybody out loud, which is like, I'm not gonna feel like going every single day. I actually had this thought, which is like, but how am I gonna get in shape if I don't feel like going every single day? Motivation's like, it's not gonna be there forever, so what do I do? Finally, years later, I finally got the realization to the question, which was, you don't rely on motivation to do shit because it's not always gonna be there. If you have motivation, that's great, that's fantastic, use it. But if you don't, it doesn't matter. You can still do the same stuff anyway through discipline. That's what discipline is, and that's why it's really important. So just a little story. And the way that I did it again was just focusing on the small things. So it wasn't like, so for example, maybe hitting that big ass gym workout for you, maybe that might be too much. Now again, you could just be making excuses and just coping, right? But think about it like a video game, right? Let's say like a 2 hour gym session is like the level 20 dragon, basically, right? In a video game. Right now you're like level 1. And I was level 1 too. I'm not saying this to be insulting or anything. But it's like when you're level 1 at a certain thing, you can't kill a level 30 or level 20 dragon, right? Because you need, think about that big ass gym workout, you need level 20 in this discipline skill, right? Right now you're level 1, that's completely fine. The way you just level up is like you start by killing the smaller animals first, right? The level 1 cows, level 1 goats, or whatever the hell, right? This is just an example. And so think about it like that. Think about it like a game. Think about it every time you pick up, for example, a piece of clothing on the floor that has been sitting there for a very long time. They couldn't be bothered to pick up. What if you just picked it up? You just gained 2 XP in the discipline skill, even when you didn't want to pick that up, even when you were coping. Oh no, I'll just do it later. No, it's not that big of a deal. You picked it up anyway, and you put it in your dresser, you put it in the drawer, or whatever, right? You folded it, or something like that. You just gained 2 XP. Every time your mom tells you, hey, can you do your chores? Then you sit there like, no, but I don't really want to. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do all this stuff. But you go anyway and you do it. You just gain 5 XP right there. So eventually when you keep doing this, you can start to do the bigger things as well. So again, maybe hitting that 2 hour workout's not possible. Literally, you could do one push-up right now and gain 2 XP. Literally, you could do one push-up, even if it's like bad, even if it's shitty, even if you have to like do it on your knees or something, it's fine. You just do one push-up, that's it. You just gain 2 XP, you just made progress. I know that might seem like really weird, like the fuck I did one push-up, that doesn't really do anything. Yes, it does, because right now, if you're level 1, you gotta understand that. I'm not a master at discipline or anything. I'm not a monk or anything. I still have to make progress in this too, but I think I've made pretty decent progress. And so the way that I did it was just think about it like a game and be like, how can I get more XP in this skill? Because this is probably one of the most important skills, right? You can't really do anything if you don't have this one character trait, which is discipline, that's it. It makes sense that discipline's the root of all good qualities, right? You gotta have the discipline to work out every single day. You gotta have the discipline to eat good food. You gotta have the discipline to not jerk off 3 times a day. You gotta have the discipline to do that. So it's a really important skill. And that was one of the ways that I did it, was just focusing on the small steps. You might say like, oh no, but like picking up the clothing on the floor is not gonna do anything. Doing that one push-up is not gonna do anything. But yes, it is, because that one push-up is gonna lead to you doing 2 tomorrow. Maybe your room is dirty as hell. Maybe you just start by picking up one piece of clothing up off the floor and chucking it in your drawer, chucking it in the wash basket or something like that. Next thing, if you do that every single day, your room is going to be clean. That one piece of clothing that you pick up is going to lead to you picking up 2 tomorrow, and 3, and then eventually you cleaning your whole room. That one push-up, what is it going to lead to? It's going to lead to 2 tomorrow, then 3, then 4, then 10, then 20. Do you see what I mean here? You keep leveling up, you keep killing higher level animals. Eventually you're gonna get to that level 20 dragon, but you gotta start with like level 1 chickens first, right? I used to have this mindset in the video game when I used to play. It was like, I already know how to play this game. Yeah, I'm already at high level. I'm so amazing at this. And then I tried to do it, and then I got humbled immediately. I tried to kill. There was this one game where I was such low of a level, and I tried to kill like this super high level enemy. The enemy, usually they have like icons that display level, like level 45, level 20, level whatever, right? This guy was so high level that he had a skull, a red skull, as his icon. I was like, oh shit. So I had this like massive ego, and I was like, I can do this, and yeah, I can do that. So when I tried to do it, I got humbled immediately. But then when I started leveling up, then when I started doing quests and getting collectibles and leveling up and doing side missions and whatnot, then it was like I could actually kill that enemy that killed me before. Does that make sense? So almost think about it like that. So that's discipline, which is the skill of doing something that you don't want to do. Let's talk about willpower. So willpower is basically just it's resisting desires, right? The skill of resisting desires. And I'll give you an example. So let's use motivation, right? Because I think that's a counter to it. I'm motivated to eat the junk food, means I want to eat the junk food, so I eat the junk food. I use willpower to not eat the junk food, means I'm motivated to eat it. I want to eat it, but I don't eat it. Does that make sense? So you get a desire, you want to do this certain thing. You want to jerk off, you want to play games, you want to eat the slice of cake, and you don't. That's what willpower is. And willpower is, again, it's kind of just like the same system as discipline. I know that's like a boring answer, but it's like just progressive overload means in the gym, to make progress, you need to get higher weights. You need to add on weights, you need to add on sets, maybe you need to do more reps. You keep going up in intensity gradually, right? Same thing applies with this. One of the ways I actually did it was I kept my favorite candy bar. Obviously, so what I did was I grabbed my favorite treat. Technically, my favorite treat was ice cream at the time, right? And so it's like I couldn't just have a tub of ice cream just laying out on my desk. So I just brought like candy bar, one of my favorite candy bars. I just put it on my desk and I just stared at it. Now, I know that might sound like really autistic. Like, what the fuck? You grab your favorite piece of candy bar, you just stare at it and you don't eat at it. Like, the fuck? And the way that I did it was I just stared at it and I was like, why the fuck am I so addicted to this thing? Why does this thing have power over me? Why does this thing have more control over my life than me? What the fuck? And I actually started getting like a little bit pissed off, and I was like, am I really gonna let this fucking gaming console control my life more than me? Am I gonna let this porn addiction, this website, have more control over my life than me? Am I gonna have this like, little rectangle that basically just like a rectangle have more control over my life than me? What the fuck? I don't know if I sound like you cringe and autistic and whatnot, but it's like that was kind of just what I thought at the time. I just started getting a little bit pissed off at these things, and that's how I just gradually just increased my willpower. Was I put my favorite candy bar, I put my favorite chocolate bar, whatever it was, right? I grabbed my favorite basically treats, and I just put them on my desk, and I had to use the willpower to not eat it. Now here's the thing, right? You're gonna do this if you actually want to take action and actually gain something from this video instead of mentally masturbating, right? You're going to take action on this, and your brain's going to cope. Your brain's going to make excuses. My brain did too. Of course my brain made excuses. And it's going to say things like, oh no, it's just one tree. What this guy said in this video, it's stupid, bro. It's just one tree. It's not going to do anything. Guess what? That one treat will lead you to eating 2 more within a few minutes. Next thing, you've just gone through the entire box of Oreos. You've just gone through the entire tub of ice cream. You've eaten like 1,000 calories of like just shit, basically. Actual literal poison, right? And so that's might what happened if you just start listening to your own brain. You know what I mean? I don't know why a lot of people do this. They say to me like, oh no, but that won't work because of this, and like, that's stupid because of this thing. And it's like, why are you listening to your own brain make excuses against you? What? It's like, are you really going to listen to the same brain who convinced you? This brain convinced you, right? To watch 1,000 hours of porn? You're going to listen to the same part of your brain that convinced you to play 16 hours of video games every single day? Fuck no, right? And so, again, if you do this practice, if you grab your favorite treat, whatever it is, it's just one treat, it won't be that big of a deal. Oh no, willpower's stupid anyway, it runs out. Like, I don't want to level that up. What? A lot of people actually say this. Oh no, but you shouldn't use willpower because then it'll drain. Basically, willpower. Think about it like a bottle of water, right? It starts up after you've woken up, after you've gone to sleep and you've woken up. At the start of the day, it's pretty full. It's at its max. And then when you use it, the willpower decreases slowly. And a lot of people say like, you shouldn't use it because then it'll basically just like run out. But that's like saying, but you shouldn't go to the gym because your muscles will be sore afterwards. What would you say to that? What would you say to somebody who said, no, but I don't want to go to the gym because my muscles will be sore afterwards? That's the point. Your muscles will be sore afterwards, but the next day, after you sleep, after you recover it, what happens? They get bigger and stronger. Same thing with willpower. So it's actually a good thing if your willpower runs out. It's actually a really good thing. Your willpower is going to run out, and after you sleep and after you recover, think about it as just like that jar of willpower, it just increased by like 5%. Think about that. If you think that mindset actually really helped me a lot, was thinking about discipline and willpower and all these good things as like a video game. Because then if you think about it like a video game, you can actually level up in it. And it starts to become kind of like gamey, you know what I mean? But instead of just wasting time on your console, you're just doing it in real life instead. There you go. So that was one thing I did to improve willpower, which was basically just keep the treat or something like that in front of me and just resist it, basically. And a lot of people, I think, my personal opinion, it's like a lot of people, when they want to quit porn, when they want to get in better shape, when they want to like quit social media, they sort of like delete all of these apps. And I actually think that's a wrong approach. Because, for example, let's say, right, the fat person throws away the candies. They throw away all the cookies, the crackers, the chocolates, ice cream, whatever, right? They throw that all away and they're making progress and stuff. Then they actually might have made it. Actually, I'm not gonna lie to you, they've made some progress doing that. But let's say like they're out at a social event. Let's say they go to like a party or something. Someone offers them their favorite treat again. Someone, not even their favorite treat. Someone offers them a snack. When they haven't developed the willpower to resist it, they're just gonna eat it, and then they're just gonna have like regress basically a little bit. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I think these people deleting social media, people like throwing away all the chocolate, installing like porn blocker or whatever, I think of that as lost opportunities to level up willpower. Now here's the thing, right? You don't want to just have porn open on your computer 24/7, right? But I think that actually keeping the junk food around, actually keeping social media installed on your phone, not for the reason of actually using it, because we know that's a waste of time and it's just going to be a net negative to your mental health, right? But I think keeping it around so that you can use it to develop your willpower is actually pretty useful. That's what I did. I still have, I don't use, this is not me trying to be like, oh, I'm so better than everybody else or anything, but I don't use Instagram or like YouTube that much, or Snapchat that much, because I know for a fact that every time I go on these apps, my mental health is going to be worse every time. I don't know about you, but it's like every time I go into Instagram, I always find something that makes my mental health worse. So it's like, I don't want to use this anymore. But I still have it. And the reason why is because even it's kind of, again, just training willpower. Because sometimes I have the desire to like go on Instagram and look at something, and sometimes I might like go onto Instagram to like look at a few people, what they've posted and whatnot. But sometimes I have the desire to just like go on Instagram, just waste time, just scroll, right? Same thing with all these apps. And so by keeping it on my phone, I can actually use willpower again to resist it and level it up. And a lot of people like delete it. I'm not using social media anymore, but like they just reinstall the app again after 2 days, and it's like, Well, you did that because the willpower hasn't increased. Does that make sense? So, hope this video helped you. Discipline, willpower. Again, lack of mental health, or sorry, poor mental health is a lack of discipline. It's that simple. So I hope this video helped you. Take care.